Hello and welcome to Tina and Karen Do the Tube. I'm Karen. Sad point, we weren't able to do a podcast this week. Bit of busy times in the way of Tina. I was gonna get Phyllis, our usual backup, on, but it was very short notice where I found out Tina wasn't gonna be available, and then so we rescheduled for Monday. And we had some really good stuff that we were going to put out. I have no idea exactly what, because there's so much out there. It's like the news cycle goes on, and there's so much good content out there. I'd like to respond to all of it. But, I just can't do it. There's not enough time. Especially house stuff, life stuff gets in the way. Not in the way. I enjoy it. But I would love to be able to be doing more of this stuff. And not just the podcasting and the reaction videos, but also I really would like to be able to produce more original content video essays. I'm in the process of writing a couple presentations. I've already told you about one on Mussolini, one on Plato's Republic. I've also because I read my last two books I read was a biography on Mussolini. He's a very fascinating character. Very misunderstood. Not that I've already said this in the previous video, but it's not like I'm endorsing him by any means. I find him repugnant, but at the same time, I think that he gets lumped in with a lot of other figures from history that he doesn't really belong. And case in point, some of the more historic figures, the heroic figures of the 20th century, FDR and Winston Churchill, prior to World War II, were huge Mussolini fans. I could read you some quotes that they have, sort of praising the man. And FDR modeled a lot of his New Deal off of what Mussolini had done in the 20s for Italy. So I just want to point that out because a lot of people I know a lot of people, especially of the left, will talk about the FDR's New Deal was a big stepping stone in the right direction. And I don't know how many people, what people of the left see him as today, but I'd still think that if you polled majority of Democrats who their favorite president in history was, I think FDR would probably be in their top three. So I don't know who would be number one, but FDR accomplished a lot for, if you think of it, sort of that leftist goal. But I only point that out because if you're a fan of FDR, you can't just at the same time turn around and say, "Oh, I hate Mussolini. He was a fascist," because a lot of their policies go hand in hand. They were almost the same thing. Obviously, they weren't the same type of person. Fascism doesn't agree with democracy. It doesn't agree with, I don't know if you want to say socialism. Marxism, definitely, because from the fascist point of view, they are socialists. They're just socialists of the nation. And that's where you get Hitler's party, the National Socialist German Workers' Party. So. But it was kind of interesting too, because I think Mussolini got a lot of credit just for being able to unite the nation of Italy, because Italy was very divided prior to his rise to power, and not just a political division, but also a huge geographical division. I mean, Italy didn't see itself as a united nation. There were several different Italian cultures that disagreed with one another. But definitely politically too, because Mussolini's fascism was sort of seen as a third way. It wasn't hyper capitalism, free market, laissez-faire, and it wasn't communism. So it was something of a hybrid in a sense that you could run a business, you could still own a business as long as the business serves the needs of the state. So it was totalitarian, it was ultra-nationalist, and the nationalism appealed to the right, and the pro-worker, pro-socialist sort of appealed more to the left. So, anyways, and something you don't get a lot of credit for. So because Mussolini was a Marxist in his earlier life, he was actually one of the first world leaders to recognize the Soviet Union's as a legitimate government. Lenin's Soviet Union. So that a lot of people point that they don't mention that fact, but Mussolini was, I think, one of the first world leaders, especially European leaders, who recognized the Soviet Union as a legitimate government. It's kind of like, like we don't choose to recognize Maduro as the legitimate president of Venezuela, but he's there, and he's not. And he's running the country. I mean, you could say he's a dictator. You could say he's corrupt, or you could say he's you could say a lot of things about him. But he's the one technically running the country. Not well. It sort of goes like that. Poroshenko or whatever the guy from Belarus, too. Very corrupt. And like Joe Biden had a statement from last year during the election cycle where he compared Poland and Hungary to Belarus, which is really insulting to Hungary and Poland, which are both democratic countries. You may not like the way that the people of Poland and Hungary vote, but they did. They're fucking legitimate, and there's no allegations of autocracy or corruption in those governments. You just don't like the way they vote because they're very nationalist. And I think there's a huge wave of nationalism brewing in Western Europe too. They just don't even see it. Like, they're sort of more hush-hush denying it. They don't want to believe it's true. And that brings up a whole nother conversation. I want to do a whole video on neoliberalism because because a lot of people will point out the way the world is now is certainly not good. I don't think there's anyone out there claiming that things are better than they've ever been. No, there's definitely a lot wrong here. But there's a lot of critics who would say that this is the late stages of capitalism. We're seeing the dying breaths of capitalism. It's like, no, I don't think that capitalism is dying out. I think that we are seeing the death of neoliberalism. We can sort of see that. That's very much apparent. And so, how do I explain that? Okay. So, capitalism is just the belief in voluntary transaction, contracts, and private property. It's the very basic definition is private ownership over the means of production. You're allowed to start a business, you're allowed to run a business, and it's yours, essentially. Inherently, there's nothing wrong with that concept, and I don't see how it would be dying out. Now, neoliberalism it started as more of a right-wing philosophy of the 1980s and 90s, but it's more morphed into more of a left-wing philosophy, as I think the left sort of saw it as a mechanism by which they could achieve the one world government. So neoliberalism is another word for it would be globalism. So like the left call it neoliberal and the right call it globalists, but it's the same thing. It's the idea of globalized markets, free trade, open borders, and essentially international governmental panels. Now, neoliberalism doesn't have a lot to say about social politics. It's more just pure economic policy. It started with Thatcher and Reagan and economists like Milton Friedman in the 1980s, and it's evolved into something that both the left and the right broadly agree on. Free trade is good. Immigration is good. All this sort of stuff. But they didn't expect a pushback because I think the main problem with neoliberalism is that it treats human beings as pure economic entities. Like money is the only value. And anyone who's ever met a human being know that we're far more complex than just simply self-serving money seekers. There's certain values that sort of defy reason. It's like, okay, we can make you rich. Okay, but what would it take? What do I have to give up? And so what you're seeing now, I think Brexit was an example. I think Donald Trump was an example. I think in France you have Marine Le Pen in the National Front. Now I'm not a big on that movement. I think that French nationalism is a lot different than American nationalism because American nationalism has no ethnic definition. It's a civic nationalism. It's the idea that you believe in these certain values, the Constitution, limited government, freedom of speech, right to bear arms, all these kind of good things. Like, this is like how I would like basically handle immigration. We grill people on 3 things and you get in. But we make sure that you agree with these 3 things and you get it. Do you generally believe in freedom of conscience? Do you generally believe in the right to bear arms and the right to protect yourself, self-defense, all that sort of stuff? And do you believe in limited government in the sense that like the government is not absolute? You have to follow your own rules. The Constitution lays out what those rules are, and you can't violate that. You answer those 3 questions, and we grill you, we polygraph you. I don't care, but we find out that's actually what you believe in. I don't care if you want higher taxes. I don't care if you want universal health care. I kind of want those things, not the high taxes. But if you want universal health care, you have to get high taxes. So, but in principle, there's nothing wrong with universal health care. It actually makes a lot of sense, but it's also something that we can debate about. I don't think that we can debate about freedom of speech. I don't think we can debate about the right to bear arms. These are things that are fundamental. If you don't agree with the right to bear arms, then just fucking look at Australia. Look at the police state that that's become. Just saying. Some people might look at Australia and see that's the golden standard of how you're supposed to respond to COVID. By locking up protesters and like beating people in the streets and like monitoring everyone's transactions and saying like I heard a story and I don't know if it's true, I haven't verified it yet, but if it is true, it's fucking crazy. The government was going to, if Australia was going to automatically download an app into everyone's phone, and that they would be able to like periodically just like call out or check in on you and see if you're at home. And if you weren't at home, you had 15 minutes to respond, or they were gonna send police to your home to see if you were there. That's fucking nuts if it's true. If it's true. Because I read a lot of stuff every day that turns out not to be true. But I can believe that to be true. And if it is true, that is fucking nuts. And I really want people to start waking up to this. And I think people are waking up to this. I talked to several people, and it seems to me that they're starting to really wake up to the world that they're living in. They may not be all that thrilled. They're very unhappy. I like my last dinner with my dad. I mean, we didn't talk about anything like this, really. We talked about life stuff, how's work, what travel plans do you guys have, how's the home, how's, life in general. But there was one brief moment where, like, we talked about how fast 2021 had floated by. Like, 2021 is going super fast. And I call it 2020 Part 2. It just feels like an extension of last year. And then my dad just rolled his eyes and he's like, yeah, I'm just so sick and tired of it. And I was like, It's not going away. And if you haven't realized that yet, then you're going to be a very disappointed person as the time goes on. It's never going away. I mean, do you know how easy it is to grow government? It's like, hey, we have a problem. We need to solve it. That's good. Okay, problem's gone, so we can do away with the solution, that part of government. I was like, well, no. We still need this power. What? Why? It's like that. Like there's memes about this, but it's like I'm gonna totally piss off the token people, but I don't remember the name of the guy. Not Gandalf. Fucking Aragorn's great grandfather, Aramir. Is that what it is? And he's like holding the ring, and then you have Elrond, and he's like, cast it into the fire, destroy it. And then like the guy says, no. And the ring is like emergency powers, government powers. And like the Aramir or whatever his name is government. It says like emergency powers. Elrond is just the people. And he's like, cast it into the fire, destroy it. Like, no. Power corrupts. I thought you can suck my dick. All right, I've gone on long enough about something. I actually wanted to talk more about humility and curiosity because that's really what I want to talk about. But then I also wanted to react to some memes. So let me just talk briefly about these 2 values. And I've been thinking a lot about this. Why am I the way that I am? And what could I bestow upon someone and give them advice about, like, how you can, I don't know, live a good life and seek truth. And I would say the 2 traits that you have to have And I don't know if this is something you can learn or something that you just inherently have, but is curiosity and humility. Because curiosity without humility leads to just arrogance. You're just confirmation bias. You're seeking to prove yourself right. So you need the humility. You need to accept the possibility that you might be wrong. But humility without curiosity is just sheepishness. You're a follower at that point. You don't ask questions. You just do as you're told. And that's not good either. You need to actually be independent. There's this term out there called Sigma male. It's like the Sigma male thing is like we don't agree with alpha, we don't agree with beta. Everyone just be your own man. Be your own person. And I'd say, hell yeah, that's true. I don't like the idea of Sigma, alpha and beta. I mean, there's certain people who are going to be like kind of alpha type, but I don't know. And there's going to be certain people who are beta types, that's leaders and followers, essentially. But what about the people who go their own way? They don't care about leading, they don't care about following. They just... the best analogy to put it is they're the guy off to the side smoking weed and like, okay, you do you, bro. You do you. They don't fucking care. That's the kind of guys I like. Kind of guys at the party I would love to fucking hang out with, you know. Everyone just do what you want. Don't hurt anyone. Don't violate anyone's rights. Have common sense, but just do what you want. It's very basic. I remember like several years ago when I would get into, I think I just graduated college and I was a union steward. Now I don't know what I consider myself today, an independent, still a libertarian, or maybe even like kind of a disaffected Democrat or a newfound Republican. I don't know what I call myself, but I remember I used to call myself a libertarian. I still have very libertarian values. And someone told me, he said, you know what libertarians are? Republicans who want to smoke weed. Yeah, more or less. They tend to, because libertarians tend to be a little more aligned with Republicans, not completely, because obviously drugs is one thing they disagree about, and I think that Republicans are far more, I don't know, sort of social norm hawks. I don't care when someone violates social norms. In fact, I love it. I love when people are different. It makes life more unique. But I also agree that they need to be the deviants need to be there, but they just need to be the deviants. You can't say this is the new norm. That's not good either, because there are certain traits that do produce good results. And it's like someone described me like as deviations as like spices. You know, a little bit can make a meal really tasty, but too much and you ruin the meal. So that's how I like to think of it. Like, we need good deviations from the norm in order to make life interesting and really worth living. But too much, and you lose track of what the whole purpose of the meal was. Anyways, I'm going to react to some memes now. After I refill my drink. All right, I'm back. One last thought before I go on to the reactions. Me and my wife have been doing like a lot of horror movies. It's October, so there's a good channel on YouTube called Mindseed TV. They do a show called Hunting Purgatory, where they just basically it's a ghost hunting show. Now, I'm 95 to 99% sure it's all fake, but it's really good. Even if it is fake, it's still kind of fun, you know, and it seems real. It's well acted, well edited. If it is all fake, either way, I don't care. If it is real, then awesome, because I love like the possibility of the afterlife or the supernatural. Love all that stuff, but my more skeptical nature says like, okay, like the one question I would say bring up to those guys is like, it's like, okay, you guys seem to find good stuff every single goddamn week when you produce a show. Are you just only showing us the good stuff and 95% of the stuff is bullshit and like just boring stuff? Or are you just that lucky you happen to be getting all this good stuff? Just saying that like that. I believe in the unexplained, the supernatural, interdimensional beings. I don't know. I can believe in that possibility. It's just, I don't know. It seems like they capture a lot. So, if it's real, awesome. If it's not real, it's still worth watching because it's really fucking scary and really fucking fun. It's one of my guilty pleasures is I like ghost hunting shows. Like I said, I'm not watching it as like, I'm not going to ever show someone the video and say like, okay, you don't believe in ghosts? How do you explain this? I'm never going to fucking do that because like, it could very well be fake. But for entertainment and for curiosity, I'd say go for it. Now, and anyway, if by chance someone from Mindseed TV is watching this video, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you guys on YouTube, you know, interview one of your people and like ask some questions about paranormal. I've always wanted to, one of my goals for this channel was to get a paranormal investigator on the show to interview for the podcast because I have so many questions for people like this. This is awesome stuff. Love ghosts. Love supernatural. Okay, Japan's first lady made a surprise visit to Pearl Harbor. Wow. Japanese are big on surprise visits to Pearl Harbor. Maybe you guys have been seeing this the whole time while I've been talking. I haven't actually read it, but that's fucking funny. Japanese are big on surprise visits to Pearl Harbor. Facebook server right now. Thank you to whoever did it. Okay. I know very little about this whole Facebook stuff. I saw that their stock is plummeting. And like a whistleblower, I have no idea what the whole story is, but a whistleblower from Facebook basically said something. I will have to research this story right after this stream because I'm curious what's going on there. All right, that's promoted. Who gives a shit? Mark Zuckerberg looking at his technical team. Okay, I really do need to look this stuff up. About Facebook being down. Nobody gives a shit. Okay. Is Facebook down? Can you not get on Facebook? Oh. Don't want to reveal too much about my personal life, but okay, shit. Like, do I have to figure out what Facebook's going on with Facebook now? Because that's what all the memes are about. Is this all it's going to be about? When you see Facebook is down on every post. Okay, yeah. Thank you. I know. I got it. I get the concept. Thank you. Also, I will say Hades is one of the best Disney villains ever because he's like a used car salesman. You don't see that at like a Disney movie or any kind of movie in terms of a villain. But he's just he likes to negotiate. He likes the idea of making a deal. He's played by what's his name? He's an actor. Of course he's an actor, but what's his fucking name? I'm drawing a blank. Shit. James Woods? Is it James Woods? Anyways, a great voice acting performance, and I know the actor who plays him is like a literal genius. Like I spent some time browsing some shit like smartest celebrities. So here's our celebrities who have an IQ over 160, and then like top of the list is like I think it's James Woods, the voice actor. He's like number one, has an IQ of like 191 or something fucking crazy. And Mr. Bean is up there, by the way. Mr. Bean, which I could believe he's smart. Why wouldn't I believe that? He's a genius. Makes me laugh without saying a goddamn thing. Facebook, God, Facebook users right now. If this is just going to be Facebook stuff, then I'm not going to be very interested.
The Pandora Papers, because we think we're opening a box on a lot of things. We're looking at about 12 million documents from 14 different service providers. These are law firms, firms that set up secret offshore accounts for people in multiple jurisdictions. The British Virgin Islands, Belize, Samoa. These documents, for the very first time, is actually showing the US as a tax haven itself.
130 pilots from 90 countries.
We're talking about some of the most famous people in the world that are in these documents. Presidents, prime ministers, government ministers, the King of Jordan, a number of very high-profile Russian clients. People
One of the biggest
very
leaks
close
happened
to Vladimir
yesterday.
Putin.
Don't let coincidental outrage of social media
Real
distract you.
estate, we're seeing them trading in shares using offshore companies. They're buying houses, cars, artworks.
Art, yeah.
I guess it mostly demonstrates that the people that could end the secrecy of offshore, could end what's going on, are themselves benefiting from it, so there's no incentive for them to end it.
Although look into that too. Oh God, if everything is just gonna be Facebook, then this is gonna be a totally wasted, mindless 9gag because I don't know enough about the whole 9gag Facebook's thing. A communication disruption can mean only one thing: invasion. I don't know. All right, quick. Instagram is asleep. Post pictures of people with actual talent. Thank God. Freddie Mercury. Yes, very true. Me, who hasn't used Facebook in the past 4 years right now. Yeah, that's how I feel kind of too. I don't use social media. I mean, I have a YouTube channel, but so I guess I do use social media. Is YouTube social media? I don't use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, none of that fucking stuff. Which is probably why I'm such a happy person. Influencers right now. Okay, okay, so basically, yeah, I know that none of these websites are working, and it's upsetting a lot of people. So, holy shit. Now, I'm not saying I have a latex fetish, but if I did, not bad. Bro tries to rescue
a big old mess.
Turns out
he bit me already.
Bro tries to rescue a squirrel caught in a mess of stuff. Turns out to be squirrels caught. This poor guy.
How?
Wait for the surprise. What is it?
How did you do this, buddy? Stop! I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, they don't know that, but good for you for doing it anyways. Right now he's thinking this guy's trying to eat me.
Ah! There's another one! Holy shit! What am I gonna do?
Oh my God. Oh, they're fighting!
Fight each other! No. Oh boy.
Those are pretty orange squirrels looking. Most of the squirrels in the Pacific Northwest are like gray.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
How did you guys get tangled up?
They really hate each other. It's like I fucking told you not to fucking like stick your head out. There's a husband and wife mad at each other. You got us caught.
Oh, I don't want you guys to get loose in the garage. Oh, this was a bad idea.
Let them get loose in the garage. Look at that. I have rabbits sneaking into my garage. Yeah, I have a pet rabbit, so I think that like the wild rabbits in my backyard feel a little more comfortable around me because they know I have a pet rabbit. So they've gotten super close. Like they just sit on the porch to the right in front of the front door sometimes. And if I leave the front door open, they'll peek their head into the house. Like, well, hey, what's this? What's this? Where's your pet rabbit? I want to fuck it. Because rabbits do that sort of thing. Okay, Facebook. Jesus Christ, no problem. Okay, if WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram are down. Twitter, I don't know. And 9gag. Well, 9gag, sure. 9gag, does 9gag count as social media? It's a comedy site. People just share memes. That's all it's about. Everyone since Facebook, Instagram. I didn't know it was down until like... I literally didn't know about Facebook being down until like 10 minutes before I started this stream, and I saw the headline. Facebook down. Whatever. Please let there be some... Oh, God damn it. Twitter, 9gag, YouTube. Okay, I do use... See, that's the thing. Don't use Facebook. Don't use Instagram. Don't use WhatsApp. I don't use Twitter, but I do use 9gag and YouTube. Probably the two sites I use most. Maybe try turning it on and off again. Oh, IT Crowd. Watch that show. Worth it. After working my ass off from Monday to Thursday and studying during weekends, I was finally able to treat myself with this bad boy. I'm 21, and it's the first console I have bought with my own money. I'm so happy and proud of myself. Nice. Yeah, I kind of want to switch too. But I don't really want to switch. It's not like something that really appeals to me. I have a gaming PC, and if there was a Nintendo kind of like version of Steam, like, you know, you could download a bunch of Nintendo games and play them on your computer, that's all I would need. Because I really would like Super Mario Maker. Infinite possibilities of Mario levels. That sounds fucking amazing. I love Mario. So I wish there was something like that existed for PC. Maybe it does. I just haven't looked into it. The number of people older than you never increases. True. Yeah. This is real now. News, come on. And a shit ton of New York journalists worked for that. Don't be fooled. The Pandora Papers. Okay, I guess I have to look that up too. So I gotta look up the Facebook stuff. I gotta look up the Pandora Papers. And the Facebook HQ CEO. CTO, Chief Technical Officer. The project manager. The lead engineer. A software engineer. They're just looking for someone to blame. Time to install this bad boy against. Never forget this. Weekly reminder that Epstein was killed to protect pedophiles in high places, and literally no one, especially you, is going to do shit about it. I can't do anything about it, but you know, I think it's just important that we all just recognize it as true. If anyone tells you that Epstein killed himself, fuck them. Fuck off, establishment. You are fucking... That is true. It's like, it was like, should have been one of the biggest news stories of like a decade, and it kind of went away like in a weekend. In the mainstream, because the mainstream is all corporate. But like on indie alternative media, you see it like brought up every fucking week. Like you see that. So, great job. Let's keep that up. Epstein didn't kill himself. I guess this is all the alternatives to Facebook and WhatsApp. Felt cute. Might fire some system engineers later. Okay, this is turning into a shit show, unfortunately, because it's all been one stuff. Still a beginner, but here's one of my favorite paintings I've painted so far. Wow, that's not bad. Please make it stop. 2009. Oh, fuck. Speak my truth in my Calvins. Oh. That can't be real. Let's look to this. That can't be fucking real. It's a testament that the fabric can withstand the abuse. Nice. Good comment. That's worth an vote. Calvin Klein. 7 so gross. Well, it's a USA brand. Kind of suits its target audience. Well done. Dude, white Insta bitches already buys Calvin Klein. No need to advertise for them. Nowadays, advertisers for target groups almost like vote hunting in politics. That's a fair point. Certain groups of people are always going to buy Calvin Klein, so you're trying to broaden your demographic. I never considered that, although that's not what it is. It's really just trying to make fat people feel a little more embraced. But beauty is beauty no matter what. We all can strive for the absolute. Even if we don't attain the absolute, the best thing is that we understand it and that we know it. See, there's this idea that you're perfect the way you are. That's not true. If you're perfect the way you are, that means that life can't get any better. That's a sad thought. You're perfect the way you are. Oh, well, I'm not as happy as I want to be. So, this is as good as it gets? Huh. I want to be happier than this. Well, you're perfect the way you are. But I'm not as happy as I want to be. You're perfect the way you are. Okay. So that's fucking miserable. I'll tell someone, like, hey, you're worth it, but you can do better than you're doing. What I mean by that is you're worth it. Every human life is precious. Every human life has inherent value. And I think that everyone is unique. You can be the best version of yourself, but there is an absolute truth and an absolute value to the universe that you can strive for, you can attain. You should work for that. And every day, you get a little bit better. You may never reach the absolute. You may never be... This is something I learned from my wife, because she likes to read a lot of self-help books, and it's really, really good stuff. But it's the idea is like, are you going to be happy only when you achieve the goal, or are you going to be happy with the journey that gets you to the goal? Because if you're only happy with the goal, then that's like 99% of days in which you're not happy because you didn't attain the goal. If you enjoy the journey, then you'll appreciate the goal, even if you don't get there, because you enjoyed the journey. That's what it's about. It's like you have to be a systems person. You can't be a goal-oriented person, a systems-oriented person. The process itself will make you better every day. So, seek to be better than you are tomorrow. Seek to be better than you are today, tomorrow. Do that infinite number of times, and you'll be so much better than you are. So, keep that up. This not a Facebook post. Good. A girl and I had a pretty rough breakup last year. This summer, she started telling people I forced her and other shit. I know this never happened. Have talked to other exes of mine. They too said I never did. Am I drunk or is this like really bad English? A girl and I had a pretty rough breakup last year. This summer, she started telling people I forced her and other shit. I know this never happened. Have talked to two other exes of mine, and they too said I never did that and always respected boundaries. It's a little broken English, but not as bad as I made it. But even with that, I lost everything. All my friends and my weekend hobbies got kicked out. There is no way I can prove that I didn't do it. I feel so powerless just because one girl has a problem with me. Thanks for still making me laugh in these tough times. That's what we're here for, man. 9gag is about bullshit. Also, find some hobbies you can do by yourself. I know it seems depressing. I'm an introverted guy. I just like doing things by myself. Find some hobbies you can do by yourself. It can be playing an instrument. It can be doing art. It can be doing crafts like woodworking or metalwork, or playing video games. If you're really into video games, let video games be the thing. I don't fucking care. Find something you can do yourself. Now, you should have social activities, social hobbies, too, because you don't want to be a complete loner. Did I say loser? I meant loner. Loser, loner. The majority of smartphone users right now. This is worthless. Kinda. Me after watching an old cartoon that I've forgotten about and remember that I loved it when I was a kid. Yeah, I actually know that feeling. I felt that way when I rediscovered Jackie Chan Adventures. That's a point for anyone who hasn't seen that show. Like, Dragon Ball Z never fell out of style with me. I understand that Dragon Ball Z is good to this day, and I'll still watch it to this day. But there were other, like, cartoon shows I watched growing up that, like, just left my mind, and it's sad that I did because I remember how much I enjoyed watching it. So I rewatched it, and I was like, okay, this is just as good as I remember. That's amazing. I love that. Recapture your youth. Jackie Chan Adventures. That was my rediscovery. Awesome. I don't know if I had another one like that. Ooh. Is that real footage? It looks fake. It almost looks fake. God damn. That's pretty cool. No, Mr. Dino, here you came back. Have a whistleblower that should testify in October 5th.
"88 skips. And he has this interesting wind up there. It almost reminds me of a Statue of Liberty type stand. Whoa, look at that.
That's a big first toss. Nice Chuck.
There's a stone.
You don't often
ESPN.
say that. This guy's name is Chuck.
ESPN. Stone
Well,
skip.
he got 42 skips.
Well, that's a big number. You know, that can be intimidating to the guys who haven't thrown yet. You know, get a nice Jim.
I love his beard, though. This guy looks like a
He
stone
has this
skipper.
interesting wind up there. It almost reminds me of a Statue of Liberty type stand. Whoa, look at that.
That's a big first toss. Nice Chuck. You don't know.
And it said ESPN 2. It didn't even say ESPN 2 or ESPN 3. That's mainstream. No. Whoever donates is faster.
Things, but crashing the internet has to be the dumbest yet. Look at the chaos you've caused.
I have no idea how to drive without texting. Why can't I post this video? Hello. What did you say? Why aren't you looking at your phone, you psycho? Why is no one liking my posts? Well, I hate all your posts. Hello. Ah! Hello.
Peter, you've...
Okay, it went a little far there, but like the first joke was really good. This one right here. This one right here.
I have no idea how to drive without texting.
That's really fucking good. The reason why Facebook is down all day is because they're purging any evidence that will harm their case before they testify Congress tomorrow. What? I can't say it's not odd that they are down for this long. The irony is that the process. What? So Facebook is down because they're going to testify before Congress tomorrow? That's weird. I generally don't like big tech. I really got to look up this Facebook story. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this video. I need to do a little bit of reading before I go to bed. No, I don't, because I kind of had this philosophy. You never start or end any day with any kind of news. It doesn't matter if it's light news or heavy news. It doesn't matter. The way you start and end every day matters. So pick and choose what you're going to do. And if the thing you're going to do is going to be more lighthearted, it's better. Put you in a better mood. So maybe tomorrow I'll look into this Facebook story. All right. For Tina and Karen. Okay, so I'm really sorry that we weren't able to do a podcast tonight because I'm Karen. Sorry. Tina is a very busy guy. I don't work. I'm a fucking leech to society. No, I have a job. But I don't work. Tina is a business owner, so he works a lot more than me. Anyways, to all have a good night and a Merry Christmas. I don't know. I do like Halloween, so me and Phyllis are gonna do some playing of some horror games this month, and I'm gonna upload that. So look forward to seeing that content. If you like watching this video, watching me ramble on about whatever was on my mind and reacting to memes, please hit the like button and subscribe. And to everyone else, stay safe and stay hydrated. Love ya.